Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Coriander,
Yes.
here we go. So, we just got out of the theater. Live reaction to Halloween Ends. First of all, just to say hello to everyone in the chat, a blanket hello. We'll
Thank
get to
you.
that soon. Special mention to Jen. Today is her 7 months anniversary as a channel member, and she was saying, please remember
Oh,
to like,
nice.
share, and subscribe. There it
That's
is.
awesome.
That's what I'm talking about. I just wanted to say one thing to start this off. For anyone that's been watching the channel, we have been covering uh, up to this moment for months,
Yeah.
and in our Halloween playlist, we have probably about 100 videos or close to that. This has literally been a journey for us. Uh, in our horror community collaborations, a bunch of watch parties, tons of hours, probably weeks of editing altogether when it's all said and done. So this is a moment. This is a moment. So, anyways, let's say hi to the chat. Just to run through these folks in the chat real quick. Lewis is in the chat. Andre is in the chat. Russell, what's up, Russell? We got Val. Val's in the chat. The
Nice.
general is with us. Strange Monkey, my man. Strange Monkey. Hope you're doing good, bro. Bones is
Yeah.
in the chat. Denisha, I'm hoping to see a lot of our folks and our channel members. Hopefully we got Hobbs, Cray Dre's in the chat. What's up? What's up? We got Phil from Phil's Creepy
Oh,
Videos. What's up, Phil?
nice.
What's up? Jason's in the chat. What's up, Jason? Good to see you. Glad to see you.
Yeah.
This is really Strange Monkey. This conversation I've been waiting for, dude. I tell you, man, we've been on a journey. You know what I'm talking about. We literally covered this movie so much, and rightly so. All of these movies, this trilogy leading up to this moment. So we're pretty excited. Still a lot of emotions coming straight out of the theater. That's why we wanted to do a live reaction later
Yeah.
on tonight. After we take a breath, we're going to have just an open discussion, with everyone. We've collected our thoughts at that point. That'll be tonight at 8:30, and then tonight we had to change because of schedule. I'm going to be doing Halloween Fest, our watch party of Halloween Ends, which is on Peacock. We're going to be doing that
Yeah.
tonight at 10:30 p.m.
Join us.
Eastern Standard Time. So we
Yeah.
hope you guys join us. This is the Halloween weekend, and of course tomorrow night
Yeah.
we'll be doing a watch
It
party on our
is.
good friend Steven's channel.
We got our
Yes,
t-shirts. You got yours. You showing it off.
yes. Well, I got my Halloween 3 because you can't forget
Yeah.
about Mr. Tom Atkins.
That's right.
Um, yeah, RMJ's in the chat. All right, what's going on? What's going on? Pittsburgh Nelly. All right. And Jake's on right now. I didn't know that he was going to be on, but let me just say this because I know those guys saw it way before me. I'm like the last person in the collective to see it, so I
Oh,
don't feel guilty because I literally just came from the theater. So
that's
I wanted to
right. We
make
went
I
to the
want
theater, damn it.
yeah, I want to
We
make
had
sure.
surround sound. No.
Yeah, we did. I wanted to make sure
Yeah.
we had a chance to talk about this thing, and get a chance to speak with you guys and just a quick reaction of sorts. Well, it may not be that quick. Jason with a $5 super chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. We've worked our asses off on these episodes, these
Have you
videos,
seen the movie,
and
Jason? That's what I'm curious about. Have you seen it yet?
yeah.
He
Have you
has?
seen it, Jason? Oh, I don't know. I was saying, yeah.
Oh,
Did you see it?
I'm
But thank you so
curious.
much, man.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. All the support. Appreciate the super chat.
Hmm.
Like I said, man, it's crazy. Jennifer saying it was so hard to choose you or Jake. We don't want people to have to make a
Aw,
choice, man. You
right?
definitely can support Jake. But
Aw.
listen, all I can say is this: I just got out of the theater, so and I'm the last one in the collective to have seen it by hours. So, I had to do it now. But anyways, let's get into this thing, Coriander.
Yeah.
We just came back from the theater. We had been desperately waiting to see what was going to happen in this movie. What are your initial, and by the way, guys, in the chat, let us know if you've seen it. We don't want any spoilers in the chat because there might be some people in the chat that haven't seen it yet. And we are going to start with non-spoiler talk. And then when we get to spoiler talk, we will give you guys a warning. So I want to make sure I respect folks that haven't had a chance to see it yet and don't want it spoiled.
That's
Um,
right.
and Jennifer, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you both for all your hard work. $5 super chat.
Oh,
Thanks, man.
that's sweet.
I know, man. Thank you. Jen said Jake has done a video and a live stream with Craven already. Stay here. Yeah, those guys have. Listen, let me also say this too,
Ah,
guys. No, 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 and no. I mean, you guys support my boys too. But I will say this: everybody saw this before me. I was getting text messages last
last
night,
night.
through the
Yeah.
night, this morning, and even right before we went to the theater, saying, "Did you see it yet? Did you
Yeah.
see it yet? I already saw it." And I'm like, "No, I haven't seen it yet." We went at 12:30. So, anyways, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. So let's get into this, guys, because you could tell, I'm worked up. Coriander, what's your
Yeah.
opening non-spoiler thoughts of the movie, or anything that happened in the beginning that you'd like to cover?
Um, See, when it's non-spoiler, I don't really, I
Well,
enjoyed,
well, the
I get a smile on my face. How's that?
okay. So you say so you're saying you enjoyed it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me just
Yeah.
say this. This is where I'm coming from, guys. And you guys know, hopefully you know, and if you haven't, please check out the videos. There's been tons of speculation, of theories, of thoughts, of hopes and dreams. Um, a lot of them were off, and
I was pretty
included,
damn close.
well,
I was close.
we'll get to that. I want to
Yeah.
save that near the end. But I'm talking about some other things. And
Yeah.
there were a couple things that we hit on the nail, but a lot of it was, put it this way. I guess what I'm saying is the movie surprised me in places, which is what I was hoping. It
Okay.
was a lot different than what I thought it was going to be in a lot of places,
Mhm.
which I enjoyed. I wanted to go there and just get something different. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. But here's the thing. The character of Corey, and we're going to start to talk a little bit about the story, not the big stuff, but the character of Corey. A lot of people were nervous about his character.
Yeah. I
And Corey,
liked how they, yeah.
okay, that's what I was going to ask you. What did you think of his character, as he was introduced, and how this thing started off in the beginning of the movie?
I liked the beginning, because,
Hmm.
excuse me, it starts off with, he's going to babysit this kid, and this kid, it looks like his parents are like, it'll be an early night, blah, blah, blah. And it just, it started out good. It kind of reminded you of, kind of like 78 when
Hmm.
Lori's babysitting. But it
Hmm.
completely, everybody's like, oh, he's gonna, you know, murder this kid, which in a way, I guess it manslaughter, but you
Yeah,
know, it the circumstances around it. I mean, you felt bad for this kid, you
you
know.
did.
Yeah, I did. And,
Hmm.
I enjoyed his character, until shit was going down and then it kind of changed. But yeah, I felt for him, I was hoping that, when Lori first introduced her and her granddaughter, well, him and her granddaughter, I was like, okay, because he kind of reminded me of her ex, that her boyfriend that was killed.
Right.
He kind of had a similar look. So
Yeah, Cameron. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I enjoyed the opening. That's all I'll
Yeah,
say. Yeah.
this is what I want to say, and also to thank Denisha. Denisha also with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Enjoying the audio version of the episodes. Thank you so much. And we got a
Nice.
whole bunch of episodes loaded up. Thank you, Denisha. I appreciate it. You're like one of the only people that really cheerleads for us on that, and it's much
Yeah.
appreciated.
Yeah.
So we don't take that lightly. We remember. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Um, this is what I wanted to say. All along, I've been really afraid of what this character was going to bring to the movie, but not because, but because I thought it was going to mess up the story. I didn't think they'd have
Mhm.
enough time to really introduce a brand new character for the ending of a trilogy. And I'm just going to say it right now. I felt bad for him too. I really did, and I did not expect that. I knew going into this that I, would probably, enjoy a lot of the things that were going to go on, but I thought that the story with him would be the downfall. And in the beginning of this movie, that first, I don't know what it was, maybe 30, 35 minutes or whatever, they set him up really well, and
Yeah.
especially after the babysitting incident happened,
Yep. Yep.
um, it really it took me by surprise, is what I'm saying. And right now, let me bring in Kill's with us too. We tried to get this thing together, and we're gonna bring in Kill. What's up, man?
Oh, nice.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, hey, hey. So
Hello.
so we're talking about you saw the movie last night, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're talking, kind of non-spoilery right now. We're going to save the ending for, a little bit further in. I just asked Coriander, and I just answered this too. What did you think of Corey in the beginning of this movie, about 30, 40 minutes in? What did you think of his character? Because I thought from the beginning that he was going to be that the character wouldn't work that well because you're introducing a brand new character in the third movie in a trilogy. But what did you think of Corey Cunningham?
I thought that character didn't work that well.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
I you know what it reminds me of is
Mm-hmm.
having a great story, great plot line, all these arcs and things of that nature. And then at that 0 hour, you introduce someone who you're saying, "Hey, this is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
This is a
Yeah.
big deal." And I just feel with everything that went on in Halloween Kills, the second entry in the new trilogy,
Mm.
maybe somehow we could have snuck a little bit of him in there. You
That's
know,
what a lot of us were saying. It would have been cool if he was already kind of in the storyline before ends, and
yeah.
then his reveal would have been stronger. This whole journey of his would have been stronger. But I will say, I I felt bad for the guy. You know what I mean? I really,
Mhm.
in other words, I didn't think I was going to like him at all. And obviously there comes a point in the movie where you got to say, "Okay, dude, you've reached that Anakin level. It's time to back off of the liking you." But up until that point, they really did set you up to kind of feel for him, and of course the parallels. Now, the other thing too, and of course Hobbs saying, "I can't imagine talking about this film right now after seeing it live." The movie definitely makes you think. It really does. And that's why I wanted to do this, because this is just raw talking. We just literally got out of the theater. Later on tonight, we're going to have time to kind of breathe and actually, talk, have a discussion about it with you guys. But I didn't have an issue with Corey's story. I actually enjoyed it, at first. Now, the 4-year gap, which also a lot of people were wondering, why do that? What's the point? What does that do? Well, to me, it kind of, and I'll let you go first after this, Coriander, but it kind of allowed Lori to kind of move from the way she was in
Oh,
Kills.
yeah.
She had
Oh,
gone through therapy, and we did predict that. We did predict that she was going to be, a lot more of a character similar to 78. But there was still a dark cloud around her. What did you think of Laurie in this movie, Coriander?
I'm so happy the way things went. It's, especially, when you saw her, she's writing a book. Um,
Yeah.
she's living in a normal house, in a normal neighborhood. She's not out in the woods all alone in a house that's all, armed up with shit. She's trying to, like we all said, move on with her life and be normal and stop,
Yeah.
having, like you said, a cloud around her. But
Right.
unfortunately, yeah, uh, I don't want to skip ahead, but yeah, I'm just pleased with, Lori. Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Wayne saying I didn't care about him. Wow, Wayne. He was wrongly accused and he was bullied. Come on, man.
He was
Like I say, there's a lot of
like,
assholes in Haddonfield, kids and
Oh,
adults
right?
alike. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
I'm
Hmm.
telling you, it was
They're
really
even disrespectful to Lori, these teenagers. And,
yes,
I don't know about you, but in my culture, you're taught to respect your elders. I
yeah,
wouldn't be doing what these kids did to,
yeah,
to her, because yeah, like
yeah.
you said, they're a bunch of assholes.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was
mhm.
literally. the whole idea of like nurture or nature, you know what I mean? And there was a lot of
Hmm.
parallels as we were told to Christine and so forth. But Kill,
Hmm.
RMJ is saying, I like the Corey character. The amount of time spent on him is another issue. What did you think of that?
I agree with that sentiment, wholeheartedly. The
Hmm.
actor, he did a great job. But
Yes, Roland
once
Campbell.
again, and I look at it like in other franchises
Hmm.
where, okay, is this character being passed the mantle of some sort? Is he our new
Hmm.
hero or a new antagonist, or what's going on? And when they're brought in the 0 hour, when they
Hmm.
take away from the characters you want to see,
Hmm.
they take away from those just those institutional characters that are part
Hmm.
of that franchise, the heart of it.
Yeah.
I have an issue with that,
Hmm.
especially for a movie that's called Ends. It
Right.
ends, which means, and maybe I'm the outlier here. I had a few hours to process this longer than you guys,
Yeah,
but
yeah. You saw it last night. We just
yeah,
saw it.
but but like someone just now said in the chat, the actor did a great job, and I
Hmm.
feel for the character,
Yeah.
but I feel when you introduce someone at the end of a trilogy or maybe at the end of an entire franchise,
Hmm.
you have to sacrifice something.
Right.
There's
Right.
time that's taken away from other characters or this and that nature, or maybe this character is now filling a void of somebody
Hmm.
crucial who died in Kills, and we all know one of the crucial characters that died in Kills. So
Right.
I'm not really sure, but once again, this is Jamie Lee's show for me. It's Jamie Lee's show, and
Yeah.
this one had a lot of Jamie Lee in comparison to Kills.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's
You
And
always a
saw a
plus in
different
my book.
side
yes.
of her. You saw
Yes.
Yes.
her living like you'd never seen her live before. She
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
fear, you know what I mean? She looked at moments happy until fucking
Mhm.
assholes, like you say, go up to her and start blaming
Right.
her for
Oh,
shit. And it's like, go
although
ahead.
in 2018 she was jacked. I mean, I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a
Yeah.
million guns, so I could kind of take or leave that. But she was ready.
Yes.
She
And this
was.
one, she's shopping and living her best life, getting her hair done. So you go, girl.
Right. Real
Exactly.
quick
And she was,
too.
like
Real
I said, I
quick
don't want to
too.
say that statement. Yeah.
Jennifer was saying, "Where do I find the podcast? I love them and listen to them while doing my house stuff and working out. I need more in my life."
Oh,
Thank you so much. Much appreciated, Jennifer. And we do have in the chat. Denisha was kind enough to put the link to the podcast, and you can find us on Spotify, Apple
Oh,
Podcasts, and so forth.
nice.
Um, but here's something I also wanted to say too. And God, I almost lost it there. Um, this movie, okay, this is what I was going to say. This movie is very different, right? And we kind of knew it was going to be. Now, they could have, here's basically the way you could have gone with this movie. And I know some folks will agree with the path they took and disagree. They could have done a movie where, okay, it's whatever it is. It could have been the same night, next week, a month, a year later, or whatever. Michael comes back, he kills some people. Lori finds out and she hunts him, or either he hunts her, they fight, and it's over, right? It could have been like that, right? And guess what? We've seen that movie a bunch of times in this franchise. So they chose to go down a different path, to kind of put this story together, and I appreciate that. And we've gone through this franchise a lot, in the last 2 years, and we've seen a lot of these different types of stories. So I do appreciate that they tried to, in other words, this was a continuation of the idea of trauma on this lady, her family, and this town. And in this movie, that effect that we saw in Kills, where they were all getting vigilanteed up and so forth, you still saw the remnants of it. You have
mhm.
teenagers literally going up to an old woman and basically just like, you F
Yeah.
you, pretty much saying F you, you started this and this and that.
Yeah.
And I was
People
like,
like killing
wow,
themselves too, right? You're seeing one
that's
person
right.
hanging themselves and yeah,
Mhm.
so it's messed up, man.
Yes. Yes, yes. So, it was a lot of stuff going on. I'm still Whew, I'm still trying to put this thing
Right?
together. Hobbs saying agreed totally with Coriander. Conrad's in the chat saying I enjoyed Ends a lot. They took risks with this one. It was different and unique, in my opinion. It definitely was, man. This was one of the most. What? Okay, let's go down that road. Is this one of the more unique movies or the most unique movie in the franchise? Kill, I'll start with you, and then we'll go to Coriander. And what do you think that? How does that stand for you?
I don't think it's one of the most unique. Only
Okay.
because in this franchise they've done things outside of the box that at the time we hated.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, the Cult of
Mm-hmm.
Thorn. So that's one thing I can say about Busta Rhymes. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing I can say about this franchise,
Oh
unlike
man.
other ones,
Mm-hmm.
specifically ones where a guy has knives on his glove, because he didn't go out into outer space like my man did. But this franchise does take risks. So this is not anything new. And with this
Mm-hmm.
new trilogy, having one director's vision go through 3 movies
Mm-hmm.
keeps it cohesive. And I agree with you, Knight. This definitely piggybacks off the trauma of Evil Dies Tonight and The Town and
Mm-hmm.
so forth.
Still
Um,
infected. Still infected by the boogeyman.
yes. Now, does that make it a good thing? Some people might say yeah, and then some people
Right.
might say, you know.
With how it
Um,
ends, I think it's a good thing.
yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Like,
And we
okay.
got call upon in the chat saying, "Hey guys, greetings from Ireland. What's going on? What's
Oh,
going on?
nice.
Welcome." Um, and Austin's in the chat too. What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Andre saying Allison was horrible in the movie. What do you guys think about Allison? What do you think, Coriander?
This poor girl lost a lot of people, more than Lori did.
That's
Her
true.
parents, her boyfriend, her friends. Um, I think for what it is and what, how she was written, I mean, there wasn't much of her. There was, but there wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
you
Right.
know. But I didn't mind, you know, what they did with her character. I mean, she could
Yeah.
have been a druggie and, living under
Yeah.
that bridge, with Michael, but she
Right.
wasn't, she's going on and she actually worked in the hospital, so I
That
thought,
was
okay,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
mind her character. No,
Yeah.
I didn't have any
Um,
issues.
yeah, I enjoyed her character. I think that everything ties back to Corey. You know what I'm saying? As far
Yeah.
as because she's connected to Corey in this movie. Here's
Yeah.
my bottom line as we get pretty much near the end of this thing, at least for right now. I'm I enjoyed the movie in the sense that I wanted to see where the rest of the story was going to go. I am mixed in the sense. Look, Strange Monkey. I've seen it twice, and I'm still trying to process everything. Um, but I am mixed in the sense of kind of like what Kill said too. I think if they took away, maybe 10 minutes of the Corey angle, you know what I mean? Maybe condensed his story a little bit more and take that 10 minutes and to well, one, put it more on Michael, and also like, I wanted to see more Hawkins, and I would have been fine with that, you know, um, you know, payout of the time. I think that's what's got me a little mixed, because I think that it was a really good story showing this guy basically becoming a boogeyman of sorts, right? And how that happens, you know what I'm saying? And all the parallels to Michael. But I do think that they should have had, Michael more involved. Now, I will say one thing I didn't expect, he got involved early, and I was happy to see that, because I was afraid that Michael was only going to be in that last third of the movie or so. He got in early and did some things, but I wanted to see more of James Jude Courtney. That's for sure. Kill, what do you think about that? And then we'll get to Coriander.
Um, well, to say he got involved early, I don't know. I was looking at a timestamp of sorts, but I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But I do agree with what you were saying. If they had shaved some of the Corey angle off, it would have
Mm-hmm.
been better. And this kind of piggybacks into one thing I want to say about the Allison character. I don't think that she was terrible in any way, shape, or form. I felt
Hmm.
that they downgraded her character arc to a detriment, in my opinion, because
Hmm.
in the second movie, she, was tougher, and even a little angry because she went out with the mob, the lynch mob and so forth.
Hmm.
Whereas in this
Yeah.
one, 4 years have passed, just like with Lori, she's now settled into adulthood. She has a job, a career, etc.
Right.
But I feel in this movie, because of Corey, and this is just my opinion, they relegated her to the girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Yeah.
like that. I didn't like
Hmm.
that because I felt that she didn't have enough of her own stuff going on other than I'm gonna flirt with this guy. I'm gonna, gonna get him to like me and so forth. And I'm just like, to me, it just feels like this strong female character has been downgraded just a little bit. And I'd love to know what you
Right.
guys think in the comments.
And
And
also for you guys, let me
wh-
just say this
oh, go ahead.
too. For you guys watching, please give the video a like because we've got uh 40 in the chat, but we've only got 29 likes. Please give the video a like. That helps support the channel. Help us out here. Go ahead,
and
Kill.
and the last thing I'm just going to say in regards to Allison again, I love the actress, and I feel watching her at this time, we're watching Laurie Strode at this time.
Yeah.
You're seeing what young
Yes.
Laurie Strode probably went through, the stuff that we
Good
didn't
point.
see.
Yeah.
We're seeing it
Good
through
point.
Allison. We're
Good
seeing
point.
her try to find her way, try to find
Hmm.
love, try to feel some sort of void, whether it's
Yeah.
with a nice guy or the bad boy for motorcycle or what have you. We,
Right.
we get to see her make mistakes. And these are
Yeah.
things that we didn't see with Lori. We just came back to Lori in 2018, and like Coriander said, she's in a shack in the woods with a bunch of
Right.
guns. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Perp Minded said, I like that this trilogy really focused on the psychological effects that Michael has on other people outside of Laurie. And I agree
Yeah.
too. I think that made it really interesting, right? I mean,
Mhm.
you don't usually see these types of things in your average, slasher horror movie, and you definitely don't usually see that in a Halloween movie. Usually, Michael is doing what he does, he kills people, and you move on to the next character, and then you've got your final victim. But you've rarely ever seen the effects it's had not only on the people that are the quote unquote stars or main characters, but the side characters, the third level, fourth level characters, and how they interact with survivors. Like we've never really had a chance to go that deep into it like that. So I did appreciate that. Coriander, what did you think about that as far as Allison's character piggybacking off of what Kill was saying?
I mean, I didn't even think of it like that. So that's pretty interesting that, he said that because, yeah, we didn't get to see how Lori, you know, dealt with the trauma she, you know, days and months after.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting,
Yeah, very interesting. I enjoyed Allison, but I do agree that I think it would have been better, to kind of have a little bit more of I wanted to see a little bit more with her and Lori. The scenes we did get with those two was fantastic, but I wanted to go a little bit further, with her. But she was, tied to Corey, to the hospital, to Corey, and kind of like that plot that was going on there. Hobbs, thank you so much for saying thumbs up, share the stream if you can. We'd really appreciate it, guys. You guys know how this thing goes. You guys have been in these live streams before. Just hitting the like button helps to support the channel so much. Strange Monkey saying, I think the scenes in regards to Allison and Corey could have been developed better. It all happened too fast. That's true too. It
Yes.
was really, really fast. Now, some people might say that's because of the things that they've gone through, and
Yeah,
and
they
they're
have a
they're
connection.
they're two lost souls, so to speak. And
Yeah.
I could kind of see a little bit of that. What were you
I
gonna say,
didn't think it
Kel?
was too fast,
Well,
Okay,
I
in my
just
opinion.
think, and I forget the name of her boyfriend that got killed in
Cameron.
Kills. Why couldn't you
Cameron.
just kept this with Cameron?
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
and what I'm saying is, you brought him over from 2018, and we
yeah,
were like, okay, because we didn't like him in 2018, but we liked
right.
him in Kills because he had his little redemption arc. But to
Yeah.
have him go through the same trauma as her, and then you would see these two vehicles going in different paths.
Yeah, but the only
Allison
thing
going
about
towards
that,
healing, him going towards darkness, possibly.
yeah, but
But
that
at
would have
least we
taken
would have
away
known him.
but that would have taken away from the stories and kills in 2018 because they would have had to shown Cameron, like if he had a babysitting accident and so forth and so forth, and they would have really had to sprinkle in a lot more
No.
Cameron, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I liked, I liked him, and the actor could have pulled that off, but I don't know, maybe they could have.
Well,
It's hard to say.
they didn't necessarily have to build it the same way they built Corey.
Well,
I'm just
true.
talking about someone who went through trauma, and like, look, one person goes through trauma and he becomes Batman, another one goes through trauma and he becomes Two-Face.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like there's different ways that people can either go to the light or the dark side. But
Right.
I
Yeah.
He
feel
was on his way to the light, though, right?
He
Till
was.
that moment in the sewer.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
man.
yeah.
So,
And that was an interesting scene too, man, because I didn't know exactly how they were gonna do it, but they did say, and Lori talked about when I looked into his eyes, or Corey was talking about it. When you look into his eyes, you can choose to, I forgot how he worded it, but it was pretty cool the way he worded, basically saying you can either be enticed by that darkness or you can turn away from it. You know what I'm saying? And we've been talking a lot about, like, Sartain and Loomis and so forth, and Sartain being that person that was enticed by that darkness, and eventually that's what made him become what he was. And of course, Loomis always turned away from that darkness, even though as the franchise went on, he did get a little bit more infected and more dark. But
can I just say, before, we go any longer, because
yeah,
if we're going to go on tonight, let's save
yeah.
some stuff for tonight,
Well,
right? Let's
we
stop
will.
here
Well, okay. Well,
and
hold on. Let me handle that. Hold on, Eric.
well,
Eric
let's
jumped
just
in the
say
chat and said, as someone that really wasn't excited, I thought it was the best of Green's trilogy. Wow.
good for
Wow,
you.
Eric. I'm surprised, saying I appreciated and liked that it was different and unexpected. Okay. Wow. That is awesome.
Yep.
Holy moly.
That's an opinion. Yes.
Dre saying, oh, so it wasn't unexpected to you, the movie?
No. There were aspects
Oh.
that definitely were, but there were aspects for me that were very unexpected with kills.
Yes. Dre saying agreed. Why didn't they just use Cameron? Okay. Dan in the chat saying, hey guys, I ranked this as number 2 in the trilogy so far. All right.
Nice.
Eric saying I really liked the Corey stuff. Allison was fine. Laurie was better in this one. The rest was just okay. The Michael stuff left me wanting more. That's how I can keep it spoiler free. Yeah, I agree. Apollo, not a fan, saying hate it ends. Terrible story. And conclusion, doesn't deserve to be called Halloween. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
There's something there because it kind of feels like two movies smashed together.
We got Entertainment Wizard saying Halloween Ends is not a bad movie, but a terrible Halloween movie. Okay. Let's see. Call Pound saying, I like the movie for the most part. Some quibbles aside. Knight, are you the only member of the collective who liked it? Laugh a lot. I'm mixed.
So no one on the collective liked
Well,
it?
I don't. Well, I don't know. I haven't talked to them. We'll get to that.
Wow.
But let me just say this. I enjoyed the fact that it was the end of this trilogy, seeing these characters, and especially Laurie. I did enjoy Laurie in this movie, pretty much everything that came with that character. But I'm mixed because I do think that they should have changed the percentage of time, taking away, like I said, at least about 10 minutes of Corey's story, condensing that and putting that 10 minutes, on Allison and especially Michael. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. Again, just coming out of the theater. Perp Minded saying a very important thing, Joker style. All it takes is one bad day. And
Exactly.
I think this is exactly what they showed with the Corey character. And I think it was a really interesting thing. The Corey character, other than the fact I think they should have taken away about 10 minutes, maybe 12 of his story arc. I enjoyed the Corey character. And I didn't think I was going to. So we got Steven in the chat. He made it saying, hey guys.
Hey.
so much to be said. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? It's truth. Bluck is in the chat. This movie wasted Allison, Hawkins, and Lindsay. I did want to see more of
Yes.
Hawkins and Lindsay, but we do know that Lindsay coming into Ends was kind of something that wasn't originally planned. They brought, Lindsay into the story because of the reaction, the positive reaction she got from Kills. So I wasn't as, upset about Allison, but I did think Hawkins was going to have a bigger part. And I
Yes.
think it's too bad because Will Patton is a fantastic actor. I did not like that aspect at all.
And especially when they did so much with him with the flashbacks in Kills.
Yeah.
I mean, they really. I mean, I guess Kills. Okay, you're one of the main characters in this one, but you're not going to be in this one. You're just going to be that guy that Laurie flirts with in the potato chip aisle.
Oh,
yeah.
come on. He even said, he's looking at his life differently. He's
Yes. Yeah,
he's happy to be alive.
But we love Will Patton, and the more
we
Will
love
Patton,
Will,
the
yes,
better.
Right.
Will Patton is always good. Dre saying, I feel they revived Halloween in 18, and all for it to come crashing down. We are back to square one. What do you think, Kill?
Look,
was this worth it, or should we not have had any of these movies?
I think it's worth it.
You should have just did 2018 and ended it. I'm sorry.
No
That's
Kills?
just my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong. In retrospect, now I like Kills more than when it first came out.
Okay,
all right.
Well, hold on now.
What I'm just going to say is to answer your question.
Yeah.
If they had just did the story in 2018, where she has all the guns, her and her daughter and granddaughter, they kill Michael. The end. Credits roll. It's done. It's beautiful. In my opinion, it's wrapped up in a perfect bow.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Coriander? Was this worth it?
I'm glad I totally think it's worth it.
Okay.
I totally think it's worth it because we saw Laurie in a place we'd never seen her before in her life. And yeah, I mean, and I'm so happy that I love all these three movies. So
yeah, Eric saying still better than Part 5. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Wayne saying, in my selective memory, 2018 was one and done, along with Michael dying in the fire. But then we wouldn't have gotten all that good James Jude Courtney and Kills and the little bit we got in Ends, so it was worth it. Listen, James Jude Courtney was amazing in all of his scenes throughout this trilogy, and he was easily the best thing about this. So when you think of Michael Myers, do you know there's going to be a whole generation? That's what I'm saying. There's a whole generation of people, of kids and teens and so forth, that when they think of Michael Myers, they're going to think of James Jude Courtney. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Like I never had like a favorite Michael. It was just whoever was playing him.
Yeah.
But I do now. So
yeah.
Just like I have a favorite Jason, so yeah.
Right. But anyways, we're going to get ready to wrap this thing up. We just wanted to do some live reactions of what we thought of the movie. You guys in the chat, obviously you guys have a lot of different thoughts too. This is definitely going to be a divisive movie. And it's also the type of movie, and like you were just saying a while ago, Kill, when I was, when you caught me off guard, because at first when you saw Halloween Kills, you weren't really hot on it. And now that you've let it absorb, seen it a few times or what have you, now you enjoy it. And I think, is that correct to say it that way?
It's still a little too much of the town.
Okay.
For me, but a lot of Michael. And hey, if I, and once again,
you never got more Michael than in Kills.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But what do we lose? It's always a give and take. More Michael, less Laurie. This one, more Laurie, less Michael. And in 2018, it was pretty even. So
yeah,
it's the give and take.
But in a way, these three movies are like kind of like Laurie's movies.
Oh yeah, of course.
So I mean, I love how it started and how it ended with these three. Yeah.
Well, I definitely think it was a good. Yeah, I would say these three movies was a good Laurie arc for sure. My man, I shot up 6 times in the chat. Say I'm not feeling it at this point in time. They respected the GOAT, and it's unforgivable in my opinion. I hear you. I hear you. I'm saying tonight will be a good time. Can't wait to dive in with reactions. Dre saying James Jude Courtney deserves his Oscar. Right? Dre
There you
saying
go.
the pacing and tone was so different, but it wasn't bad though. See, that's the thing I'm saying. People got to remember, this movie, to me, the timing, of the characters was off. The balance, the balance of timing. So that's why I'm mixed on it. But it was not a bad movie. It had some great
No.
kills in it, some great practical effects. When Michael was on screen, it was fantastic. So when I've heard some people tell me it was worse than Resurrection, and I'm
No,
like,
come
okay,
What?
on.
all
Oh,
right.
No, no,
So
come on
I'm
no.
now.
just putting that out there right now for
Come
you guys
on
in the
now.
chat.
Boo.
We're ending up here, but if you guys, if you guys want a few more minutes here, let us know. Was it worse than Resurrection? Was it worse
Hell
than Curse?
No.
no.
No, not you guys. I'm talking about in the
Oh,
Well, I'm
live
just
chat. Well,
saying.
I know you guys don't think that. You guys know what's up. This was nowhere near Resurrection.
no.
Fuck
This,
no.
and before I saw it, I had predicted this would probably be like in the middle of the pack for me. I'm still processing it. So, but I will say that is kind of how it worked out. It's not better than 2018. And I enjoyed Kills more because that was a Michael movie. What were you gonna say, Kill?
Well, the only thing I was going to say is, and once again, this is mainly me talking about 2018 and Kills right here. I feel if you took those two movies, that just bear with me, guys, seriously, because I have had time to think about this. You
Yeah.
don't make ends. You take those two movies, you take the beginning where Michael breaks out of 2018, just that. Then you plug in Kills, where the town is reacting to him breaking out. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is crazy. Evil dies tonight, and somehow Lori hurts herself, and whatever. So that's like, right there. And then you end it where you go back to 2018, where Lori and her daughter and granddaughter end him. I know that might sound weird, but just think if you just took those two movies and moved certain little puzzle pieces around, and you just did those two movies, to me, I still think the ending of 2018, where it's a big old trap that Lori has been waiting for years, ends him, and he burns in hell. No spoilers, but y'all saw 2018. Come on,
Right.
For me, I feel that it's just, I don't know.
Well,
it's good.
it would have to be a much longer movie than 2 hours.
Well,
And
no. It would be two movies instead of
okay, I
three.
see what you're saying.
But
Okay,
just
I got
moving
you.
certain parts from
I
Kills
got you.
over, so that, like, oh my goodness, he
Yeah.
broke out of
Yeah.
the
I see what you mean.
psychiatric ward again. Oh, evil dies tonight.
Yeah.
Let's get him. Rah rah rah. But then it ends in Lori's basement in her panic room.
Yeah. No, I got you now. Steven was saying that Michael's screen time was 13 minutes and 5 seconds on screen. And he said something is wrong with the math.
and if this was any other movie, we would be going crazy.
But here's the only thing I gotta say, and I know. Well, yeah, obviously. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying, is that I wanted to see more Michael too. And the other part of it too, and it's kind of interesting because the movies did this because Kills gave you so much Michael. Michael was, I don't even know what the time amount was, but Michael was in Kills so much that it's almost like you got used to that, and you wanted to continue that. But of course, each of these movies is so different from each other as far as and they said it would be. So it's just interesting how all that panned out. You know what I mean? Jen saying I still like Season of the Witch the best. Season of the Witch is a good movie. Yeah, and I got the shirt to prove it. Dre saying I agree, Knight. It was off the timing and stuff. Tiger Man saying yes, it was worse than Resurrection. Wow. No. That's just my opinion. I mean, no, you can have your own opinion. And there are a lot of fans of Resurrection, and there's good stuff in Resurrection. I like to play around with it. But I don't think look, at least Michael wasn't being punked out and defeated by Kung Fu. Come on. Once they did that, and that's coming from a martial
Or that
artist.
killer shark. right?
Well, that too. But that's coming from a martial artist. And even when I saw it as a kid, and Kill. I
I
mean,
know.
it's just come on, man. But anyways, Erickson is far from the dumpster fire people are saying, but that's the internet, man. People just hate on something different or just isn't exactly what they want. It's not awful, but not fantastic. Okay, so he's got
Yes.
mixed reviews. Bacon is in the chat saying Ends is his favorite. Ends over 2018 and Kills. All
Nice.
right.
Good for you.
Perp minded reminding us Jeepers Creepers Reborn still exists, and that is by far the worst horror movie of the year. Now, see, a movie
Oh,
like that, and I didn't even see it just from what I heard.
yeah.
That's bad stuff. Mark is saying the movie was better than Resurrection, but Ends disrespected Michael more than Resurrection, in my opinion. You mean because they didn't have him
What?
in it as much, right?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would think, because they definitely
Yeah.
should have had him in it more. There's no doubt about that.
Especially if it's called Ends.
Right.
It's called Ends.
Denisha said
I mean,
it
look
was.
at how. I mean, I think people are forgetting that he was hurt pretty fucking bad at the end of Kills, and he's old. It's not like
Well, that's
he's
true
gonna
too.
be like himself and being able to go out and kill all these fucking people.
That's a
Even
good
if it's
point
been a few
too.
years,
But
he's
didn't he
aging.
survive an explosion and
That
being shot in the eyes by
well, we were talking
Loomis?
about this trilogy, man. But I will
I
say
know.
you
I
brought up
know.
you brought up a good point that I want to jump on real quick. In this movie, they showed you he wasn't supernatural, or at least
Yeah. Yep.
or at least any capabilities that touched upon supernatural wasn't enough to you know what I'm saying, because he was hurt in the beginning of the movie, and David Gordon Green had said that he went off basically like a wounded dog goes to the woods to die. So he
Yeah.
went
He was
off and
eating
he
those
was
rats.
and he was dormant, just like he
Hmm.
was for all those years at Smith's Grove, just like he was when he was a little boy and his parents took off the
Corey's
mask
the
and was
one
just
who brought him back, if you think about it.
absolutely, yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Man, there's so much more to talk
Yeah.
about, but
Let's
I
end
want
this
to
shit.
save. I want to.
I'm sorry.
Oh man,
I
I
mean
want
it
to.
in the best way.
I want to save that for tonight. We're going to be back on. We're going to
Yeah.
totally unleash at 8:30, guys. But we appreciate you guys stopping by to see our live reaction. Kill had seen it last night, but we literally had just come out of the theater, so there's still some things to process. We're going to take a couple hours to process that, and see what happens later on tonight. Also, Lethal Collective will be tonight too, as well. So
That's
definitely
right.
check out Lethal Collective. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe there, as well as the Nightwatch Zone, of course. If you're new here, we do see some new people. Please like the video. It helps out a lot. As we head on out, Travis jumped in saying, "What's up, y'all? I enjoyed Ends, but it just felt like too many setups that led to nothing, but I still enjoyed the ride. Happy Halloween." All right. Yeah. Yeah. Lewis says, "I wonder if Michael eats." Yes, dogs and
Rats.
rats.
Hmm.
That's one thing they did keep
Maybe cats,
consistent. Yeah,
right?
yes. Bullet jumped in the chat. Thanks for the instant reaction night. Thank you. We appreciate you guys stopping by again. Please like the video. It would really help the channel. And we'll be back later on tonight. And yeah, we'll catch you guys later. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.
Peace.
Ch-ch.